Last winter in August I was in Sydney, and it was an evening I was sitting in a vehicle waiting to go to the airport, and it started to rain. It rained like crazy, and I was presented through the windscreen with a beautiful image. That urban landscape, that city landscape, was distorted magnificently. Bright lights, great contrast, and bent lines. And it was really the inspiration for this exhibition. I did a couple of paintings of that image and then decided that would be the theme for my next solo exhibition here in Perth. It's probably not the best decision I've ever made. When I live in the driest city in the universe, to decide to do an exhibition based on water over the urban environment. Not only that, I decided to do this in late November, the beginning of summer. And Perth's summers, as we know, are legendary. What do? You go to Singapore. Singapore, in January, is the wettest place in the universe, apparently. So Julie and I go up to Singapore for 5-6 days. We check the long-range forecast and find out that yes, it's going to rain like crazy. Beautiful. As I want to view these city landscapes at night through a window with rain on them, I thought I'll take my own window. So I built a Perspex window. That way I could take it anywhere I want in the rain, photograph through that, produce the paintings. You know, I don't like to brag, but is that a Storm Chaser's emergency windscreen or what? Look at that. That's great if it rains. In Singapore, in January, it didn't rain. Well, that's not true. It rained as we were taxiing down the runway to leave again. And just to upset me a little bit more, it rained in Perth while we were gone. The thought occurred to me, I've come all this way to Singapore. I'm going to have to make my own rain. So we went to the hardware store and bought a, you know, one of those pressure pump things with a nozzle on it. And the idea being we'll go out and spray onto my fake windscreen with Julie's assistance. But that didn't work because Perspex is different to glass. Water beads on Perspex, it doesn't flow as it does on glass. Waste of time. Hire a car, jump in a car, every time it stops at the lights, get Julie to jump out, spray the windscreen with the pump. It didn't work. The water was too concentrated and we looked like a bunch of terrorists running around with backpacks and spray cans. And I had little choice. I had to make my own rain machine. I wanted images of the city with lots of lights under torrential rainfall, looking through a windscreen of a vehicle. So I have a van, I thought, easy. I spent 3 months building my own low pressure system in my van. It ended up with a pump in a bucket, with a hose coming out, plugged into a reticulation system up on a roof rack that I had to get to create rain on my windscreen. On the day I actually got it working, you know, adjusting the sprinkler heads, beautiful rain I created. I called out, Julie, come and check this out. She raced outside with the camera and started filming me as it started to rain. And it rained like crazy. So I have decided there is a God, and she's got a great sense of humour. I leapt into the vehicle, roared off into the city with my bucket of water still beside me with my pump in it, backup plan. I didn't need it, it was raining. Problem is, there was no lid on the bucket. Water's going everywhere, I've got my electrical connections getting wet. Panicking, I stop on the corner of Charles and Vincent Street, stick the hose out the window, turn on the pump, and I'm spraying water out of this bucket just to lower the level onto the car sitting next to me in torrential rain. He's looking at me thinking, what is going on? What is this? There's a hose coming out of my van, squirting all over his car in torrential rain. I'm sitting there going, you know, he thinks I've sprung a leak and I've got a bilge pump in there. I'd like you to remember when you look at these paintings that there's a lot more that's gone into this than meets the eye. A lot of drama, a lot of trauma, a lot of failure, a lot of tears. For example, I want you to imagine driving through the city of Perth in peak hour traffic with your hand pump going like this, your camera going like that. That's 2 hands you're using already. Taking a photo, pumping the water, with your windscreen wipers off and lots of other traffic around. Don't try that, and if there are any police officers watching this, I didn't do that, and I would never do that, I promise. So I hope you can make it along to the show where you'll see not only all of these paintings, the fruits of my labour, but perhaps my greatest work ever, my own mobile low pressure trough, in action, the mighty rain van. See you there.